Masterclass. Welcome to the masterclass. Yo, you don't even have to ask. You're all welcome to the masterclass as we hatch the past, present while we craft.
Yo, whoop-de-whoop, back at it like crack addicts. You know what time it is? OG Samke, Big Rashid K, Masterclass podcast episode.
The best hip hop podcast in SA.
I felt like when you said that, do you think we may be jumping the gun?
Who can you think of when it comes to hip hop podcasts? I'm not talking about podcasts in general. I'm talking about hip hop. Who can you think of?
Nobody's doing hip hop podcast the way we're doing it, man. I think everyone's just covering what's happening around the world on Twitter, but no one's doing a hip hop pod.
Everybody are like reviewing what happened the past 2 weeks, and then do interviews.
Yeah.
Nobody does it like we do.
You know what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Podcast. That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to some music.
Yeah.
Some South African music.
So, speaking of this African, I wanted to tell you something, like a story,
Sure.
like a history lesson. You know, you remember that the first hip hop party was in 1973, but hip hop started as a movement, and the name hip hop, it started in 1974. The guy who put it together as a movement and came with 5 elements of hip hop was Africa Bambaataa. So I'm gonna show you the connection.
Mm-hmm.
He chose his name. He said his name is Africa Bambaataa. You know, Africa is a continent.
Right.
Do you know the story of Bambaataa?
Nah.
Bambaataa is a South African from KZN, South African warrior, who started Bambaataa Rebellion in 1906. You know, Bambaataa Kamancinza.
Okay.
Learn that. It's our own history.
Google it.
Yeah, it's our own history.
Oh, you can't. This is knowledge you're only getting here.
Yeah, hence we call it the masterclass.
Fact.
Bambaataa Kamancinza started the Bambaataa Rebellion in 1906. Because the European devils wanted us, the native South Africans, to pay tax for a living.
Yeah.
Every human being was
How it is now, basically.
Yeah, was supposed to pay a British pound to be alive. They used to call that Ukanda Mbondo.
Working, not working, Yafana.
Yeah, Yafana. As long as you're breathing, you were supposed to pay a British pound, Ukanda Mbondo, to be alive. And then Bambaataa Kamancinza said, hell no. And then there was that war, and then they captured him, and he was beheaded in 1906 by the European devils. And then that's where Africa Bambaataa got his name from. So hip-hop is very connected to South African history. And then after that, he put all the gangsters together to form the Universal Zulu Nation.
Okay.
You know, talking about SA hip-hop subgenres.
I actually hate this conversation.
You know, we have Motswako, we have Spaza, we have TP, we have Kasi Rap, we have this and that, and the third, and other bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Subgenres. Okay, Sharp, let's start from the top, right?
Yeah.
Hip-hop. That's
Yeah.
a genre on its own.
Yes.
We've seen it evolve over the years in the States.
Yeah.
We've seen it evolve here, evidently.
Yeah.
My question to you and to all hip-hop lovers is hip-hop just not hip-hop?
Hip-hop is just hip-hop. In Africa, subgenres are different because we have a lot of different tribes. In America, we have boom bap, which is the sound. We have gangster rap, G-funk, which is the sound. You have trap, which is a specific sound. In South Africa, it's not about sounds. It's about languages. If you rap in Setswana, you Motswako. If you rap in Zulu, you Kasi rap. If you rap in Sesotho, you Tshipi. If you rap in Xhosa,
You're a Xhosa rapper.
Spaza. You Spaza.
Spaza.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't know. Where's that come from?
So
Spaza.
it's not even about there's nothing called Espaza beat or a TP beat, or it's about the language.
Yeah.
And I don't think that shit is necessary.
Okay.
Because we're using the same sound. If you have Pro Kid and Double HP on the same song, is that Kasi Rap or Motswako?
Pro Kid and Double HP.
Yeah, on the same song. Is that Kasi Rap or Motswako?
It depends, man. I think it goes both ways.
Because it doesn't depend, because there's no sound, there's no Kasi Rap sound. It's the language. The other one raps in Zulu, the other one raps in Setswana.
But at the end of the day, it's still hip hop, right?
It's still hip hop. So that's why I'm saying these subgenres, man,
don't exist.
they don't exist.
There's no such thing as a subgenre.
There's no, in South Africa, there's no such, we have different languages, we rap over the same beat.
Okay,
the only cat,
sharp.
the
My man.
only cat who came with a different sound was KO with Skanda. But to a certain extent, not entirely, because you have Lunatic producing for KO, and then KO will call that Skanda. But if Lunatic produces for MT, it's no longer Skanda. And I think, and some people within that Skanda, let's say Cash Time Life, Kid X, and all other cats that were there, Kid X, Nomuzi, they identified as Skanda because of association. As soon as they left KO,
They weren't Skanda
they
anymore.
were not Skanda anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm saying even that Skanda is limited. So these subgenres, I don't buy into them. And we don't need them. They're so unnecessary. Because if we're going to take it to the Hip Hop Awards, we're going to say best album, best lyricist. We don't entertain the subgenres.
So a homie of mine was telling me, a lady friend said that stuff like that is why corporates don't support hip hop, because there's just so much violence. Like, it can just pop off at any time. And you know how corporates trying to shy away from.
Yeah.
So the fact that hip hop and violence go hand in hand is a problem for hip hop, and that's why some people don't fuck with hip hop.
SA hip hop is not violent though.
But hip hop in general, you know? Forget about just SA hip hop. Like, we've seen it a couple of times.
Yeah.
People
like
getting
in
snapped here and there.
America, in America, it's most of these rappers come from gangster background. You know, they're from the streets. You know, most of them have like murder cases, and they have body counts.
Right,
you know, here we have a bunch of softies, trust fund babies from the suburbs.
Woo!
Who can't do shit, man. Who
I hear
fight
you.
and apologize.
Or you wouldn't apologize.
For what?
If you got into
Defending
a fight.
myself? Fuck that.
I get you. But I'm happy to see it, man. I like to see a bit of camaraderie / fighting, you know. Hip hop events happening all over, so we're gonna see a lot of that coming.
Yeah, making the headlines is good for the game. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. But corporates shouldn't use that excuse that hip hop is violent as not. You know. So Mizi was accused, but he has endorsements and shit for fighting.
Yeah.
You know, Boiti the other time was involved in a fight. She has endorsements. It's
hear
not
you.
unique to hip
I
hop.
hear you. How do
South African version of hip hop. You've culturally taken it from America. You've adopted a culture, just like the thing I've read now. You adopted a culture from America. So, number one, when an album drops in, my man, let me finish my point. When an album drops in America, and like I'm saying, hip hop is an American, it started in America.
Yes.
They are obviously going to bust it up all over the world.
Let me tell you the difference.
My man, let me finish. Wait, let me finish my point. Finish my point.
Okay, finish your point.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna come to you.
You can do that. But what I'm saying to you is, you can't be mad at the fact that South African hip hop will always be second best to an American hip hop, because South African hip hop is adopted from American hip hop. So is hip hop around the world. They are the dominant. We all culturally appropriating this hip hop genre.
I understand what you're saying. Here's my point. There's no reason at all in South Africa for Big Zulu,
to be second to Drake. I understand in America, it's
No,
fine.
bruh. No,
listen, there's nothing
You're not
American.
taking my point here.
Listen, I get your point. There's nothing American about Big Zulu. And there's a difference between the art form and the culture. We are not using the American culture. Culture is the way of life. They live their own lifestyle, we live our own. We're just using the art form, the hip hop art form, to address our culture, to express our own culture. It's not American culture. There's nothing American cultural about Big Zulu's album. You can listen from track 1 to track 20. There's nothing American. It's the only thing American is the art form, not the culture.
I hear that.
Culture is the way of life. We living different.
Rashid?
Culture is the way of life.
No,
It's your everyday life.
Sure.
We're not having the same lifestyle as Americans. So once you step, if you on your raps, you're rapping about Atlanta and Brooklyn, then that's cultural appropriation because you're not about that life.
Yes.
But using the American art form, that's not cultural appropriation because you didn't tap into their culture. Big Zulu didn't tap into American culture.
I think it's a bit double standards.
It's not.
It's a bit double, like literally.
It's not.
So you're saying, okay, I'm gonna take a piece of your culture. It's like what?
No, it's not.
It's literally that, dog. Let me finish.
No.
Let me finish the point. It's like you're taking a piece of something, saying, look, I like that you wear pink jerseys, right? I'm gonna wear pink jerseys as well. I'm just gonna wear them. I'm gonna wear the sweaters instead of the jersey.
Listen,
listen. You're still taking my pink shit.
Okay, listen. We can take it even further than hip hop and say poetry started in Africa. Poetry was an African thing.
Okay.
Maskandi have in the middle of the song has a nigga talking about hey ngazibamba mina kupuga. That's older than hip hop. The Sotho niggas Sotho musicians when they do in the middle of the song, hey, that's older than hip hop. We can take it further than that and say hip hop got that shit from Africa.
No, and we did that last week, right?
Yes.
We did that last week.
Yeah. Hip hop took that shit from Africa and now we're taking it back.
I hear that. I can agree with that.
Yeah, that's
fully.
not appropriation.
Fully, I can agree with that.
But if you're gonna copy and paste American culture, that's appropriation.
I hear that. I can't argue with that. But
I'm gonna give you the tips how to sign your contract. First thing to look out for is the duration of the contract. Is this contract 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? Is this contract an album, a project contract, or a year contract? Because you can sign for 3 years, right? And you can sign for 3 albums. Those are different things.
Yeah.
If you deliver 3 albums in a year, then you're free from your contract.
You've seen that happen.
And if you have a 3-year contract, you can sit it out without releasing anything. After 3 years, you're free. So niggas need to understand that first. Number 2, the ownership.
Yeah.
Who owns these records that I'm putting out? And if the label is owning this, for how long? You know, the contract needs to state that we're gonna own your masters or your IP for 5 years.
Okay.
And then after that, you can have them back.
All right.
They need to understand that.
So IP would be the intellectual property.
Yes.
Masters would be the music.
The music.
Okay.
Yes.
Isn't it the same thing?
It's not. Okay. Sometimes you sign the artist. Sometimes you sign the music. You know, if I sign you for 2 years as an artist, after 2 years you can go. If I sign your product,
I keep that.
If I sign it to use it for 5 years, you can be free, but I'm still owning your stuff. then after 5 years you can have your stuff back.
I get you.
That's the difference. So you must understand the duration of what you're signing for. You know. Number 3, the percentage.
Cuts.
Yes.
Cuts. Yeah.
Number 3.
Who's getting what?
Yes. Okay, the album is done. Here's the album. How much am I getting from this album? If it's 15%. If you don't understand percentages, get someone to explain it in rands. If they say, for every album, you get 4 rands. It's fine. Then you know when you sell 30,000 copies, it's 30 times 4 rands.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So there's that division between underground hip hop and mainstream hip hop in South Africa.
I hear you. Let me tell you what I've been seeing, right?
Yeah.
Based on the point that you're sharing right now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like you're saying, you're gonna forgive the underground cats, but I'm gonna be a bit harder on the underground homies because from the experiences and the conversations I've had with experienced guys, and Marco being an example who I spoke to about a week ago.
Yeah.
Underground homies is lazy as fuck, dog. You know, like homies, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but when you're supposed to send the verse, you're sending it late. You know, I'm sending you the beat, you're doing nothing with it. I'm telling you, rewrite your shit. You don't want to rewrite your shit because you think that verse is better. So I feel like the reason why there's such a big division and why mainstream guys don't really look for these young cats is because if I'm working day in and day out in my studio trying to drop music and then I get a young gun to come in and he doesn't pull his weight, of course I'm going to be pissed off. Why would I want to work with those guys? Another example is KO, right? Back to the homie. When I spoke to him, we interviewed him a few years ago and we spoke about the cash time divide.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was saying his work ethic is way higher than the guys that he was working with. And I won't name drop, but you know who he was working with.
Yeah.
He says he was working a lot harder. It's that Cristiano Ronaldo feel where you feel like you're the best player on the team and no one else is actually trying to help you do this thing, which is why you end up not wanting to put these youngins on. So the young guys need to also get their shit together, dog. Like, take this shit seriously, you know, so that these bigger guys, the mainstream guys, can take you seriously. If you want to work with homies, you can, but also you need to have the right work ethic with the person you want to work with.
Yeah, I think another problem, the main problem is the lack of knowledge.
Okay.
You know, I know there's a lot of dope rappers in the Val, a lot of dope rappers in Soweto, Kase rappers, Kwamashu, Mlazi, Kukuletu, Culture, you know. But when they send songs, when they send you an email, somebody will send you a link. Sometimes a iTunes link or Spotify. What must I do? Like, buy your shit. Like,
and then what?
And they don't even know how to send
That's
music.
Facts, bro. That's facts.
You
I've
know,
actually told too many rappers how to send music now. I feel like you should know. It's something you should know if you're trying to do the
they
music
still
thing.
don't. I can show you my emails now. They still don't.
WhatsApp, boy.
They still don't. They send you a song from WhatsApp.
My nigga. I wanted to get off my chest. I think maybe we should talk about it. Let's address this one, right? I feel like up and coming female MCs. I was having this conversation with Slick. Shout out to Slick, he's our sound guy, and we were talking about how up and coming female MCs and most female rappers feel entitled to being put into the game just because of the fact that they're female, right?
Yeah.
What makes me say this is because I don't know if you know Trusted SLK. You know Trusted.
I know Trusted.
Shout out to Trusted.
Very well, man. He was on my show on one mic on SABC1.
She did sports scene as well.
Yeah,
she's at
yeah.
Hip Hop Sundays every Sunday.
Yeah.
Dirty Tuesdays, she's there every Tuesday. Like whatever hip hop event that's gonna pop or where she might even get a chance to perform, she's there.
Yeah.
Like, she's hustling as
She
a
is,
MC.
she is.
And I feel like all the other honeys, man, they just feel like, now I'm fly. You know, I can hold a tune, I can sing nyana, I can rap nyana, and then they expect to be put into the game. And I just feel like we've been giving the ladies a bit of a pass, you know?
Yeah.
Even shitting on our top 6 while I'm saying that, because they are also not bringing new girls into the game. Like, I ain't heard a dope collab. Last week we spoke about Nalu. Youngster CPT had to do that. Why can't the FMCs work together and just push their own thing, you know?
Because girls look at each other as competition, you know. Every girl that's in the game right now
was put on by a nigga.
That's a big problem, man. G.
That's a break. And as soon as they get there, they don't want to put other young girls on.
Which is what I don't get, my nigga. Like if like Nadia, I haven't heard Nadia put on any young lady. You know, Rouge is dope rap, but she ain't
I
really
think
put nobody
it's
on.
something. It's something deeply rooted in the female genes, because if you have a female president contesting, she'll never win, even though females are a majority. You know, in America, Hillary Clinton lost to the orange guy. What's his name?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Orange guy.
Yeah. even though females are a majority, in South Africa we'll never have a female president
Not for a while.
for many years to
Yeah, for a
come,
while.
because like females by nature don't support each other.
Yeah, like they can campaign. Like Hillary had a lot of people campaigning for her. We all thought she was gonna win that Donald Trump election.
Yeah.
But it just goes to prove that maybe there's not enough support from the ladies, but even us as dudes,
Yeah.
I don't know if we trust women that much for them to like we don't put that many ladies onto the game, because I don't know if we like trust them, you know?
No, we do put ladies on. Check all the labels from America to SA. When a female is signed to a label, she's gonna be the first lady of that label. She doesn't want nobody else.
Yeah, which,
Eve, the
that
first
starts-
lady
yeah,
of Rough
way back.
Riders.
Lil Kim.
Lil Kim, the first lady of Junior
Bad Boy,
Mafia.
but Junior
No,
Mafia, Bad
Nicki
Boy.
Minaj, the first lady of
Young Money. Yeah.
Even here in South Africa, with Family Tree, you only had Nadia.
Scandal World, Scandal Queen.
They had Skanda Queen. You know, I don't think they would suggest to the bosses like, yo, I found another dope female rapper, because like it's
Do you think-
they look at it as competition.
As Bushiri type situation,
Okay.
people who don't wanna hear nothing else, they don't wanna hear no one else but you. And you can't say no lie. You can't tell no lie. Everything out of your mouth, we grasp it and we eat it.
It's gospel.
Yeah,
It's gospel.
that's cult
So
following.
you're saying that happens in hip hop.
It happens in
We've got Bushiris in hip hop.
yeah.
Who's
No,
this?
I was yeah. Basically we do. Yeah.
Influence. Bushiri had influence,
Yes.
and that's how you get your cult following, right?
Yeah.
Do we have that in hip hop? Cult follow? I don't think so, man.
I think we do. If you're not objective, you know. For example, one of my favorite artists is Common.
Okay. Shout out to Common.
I'm also a Nas fan, but I'm objective. When they drop a trash album, I can be like, nah,
Call it out.
this is not it. This is not it.
Okay.
Cult following is whatever this guy does.
It's hard.
Yeah, you can't take a wrong step.
I feel like this is personal for you. I feel like you've been
No,
experiencing
it's-
some of this.
No, it's not really personal, but it's from experience. Some
Okay.
things I've seen in the industry, in the culture. You know,
For example, what have you seen?
you know for a fact that there's Legacy,
Okay.
aka diehard fans,
Showcase.
and then there's Tsibibians, you know, and then there's the Slimes,
Yeah.
you know, and those people. Do you think a Tsibibian will accept and say, okay, no, aka has a better song?
Never. Not in a million years.
That-
Joe, you tweet something wrong about Casper. The Tsibibians are on you already.
Yeah.
Even with the Legacy, like you say something.
Yeah.
I've once said some shit on the radio where I was comparing AKA and Casper.
Yeah.
And I was saying trashy shit towards both of them.
Yeah.
But the Tsibibians, they were not having it at all. They were just like, nigga, fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are? Damn near pulling up to the studio to come fight me over some shit that I said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That to me is more of a cult following. That's,
Yeah, it is,
you
it
can't
is.
Like, you willing to go shoot somebody or harm somebody else for an artist that you like, that you don't even know. He doesn't even know you either.
You know, they want you to justify yourself, to say, you know what? This coming from an AKA fan, this song is trash. You know? But if you don't put that disclaimer, they're gonna think you're a hater. If you say, no, I'm not feeling this song is trash.
Yeah, that happens.
They're gonna attack you, thinking now you must explain yourself.
But no, I actually like this guy.
Yeah, me as an AKA fan as an AKA day one, I'm not feeling this song. This song is trash. Then they're like, oh, okay, it came from Legacy.
But sometimes they don't even care though. Like
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they will even attack you after that.
They always do.
Sometimes they will even attack you after that.
So how do you maneuver then around?
Saying.
Yeah. Now let's conclude the conversation by rounding it up and saying let's cancel culture, and let's teach.
Yes. Let's chill with this cancel culture.
Yeah.
And let's educate people
On all forms, right?
on all forms.
So let's
Not everyone knows everything about homosexuality.
Okay.
Please educate people before you judge them.
All right,
Not everyone knows everything about everything. So let's educate people. You know, after me been educating you and you still hard-headed, then I can cancel you.
Okay.
I cannot cancel an ignorant person.
All right.
You know, let me educate.
Let me switch it up for you a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to close up the topic, but
Yeah.
But cancel culture is not just based on what people say, racist things. It's also based on what you do. So if you murder someone,
As a celebrity.
cold blood,
As a
if
celebrity.
you ask her this shit,
As a public figure.
we're canceling you. If you rape someone,
If
we're
you-
canceling you.
If you're a public figure. It's
No,
not general.
no.
It doesn't happen with anyone. That's what I was saying.
I'm saying let's take it there then.
Yeah.
If we can't destroy
needs to-
cancel culture, let it apply to everyone.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It
Yeah.
needs to apply to Steve who's selling nyaupe in the hood.
Showcase.
Not just for celebrities.
Yeah, that nigga in the hood busy raping girls in your hood. Let's cancel him and let's get his ass in the let's get him arrested. You know?
There's more than 700 10 to 14-year-olds girls that are pregnant and no one has been arrested.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But if it was a celebrity impregnating one of the girls, trust me, it will be all over the news. There's 700 little girls that are pregnant. No one is arrested. No one is cancelled. Come on, man.
Man, couldn't have said it better myself. I think if we're not gonna cancel culture, let cancel culture apply to everybody. Not hip-hop artists only, not celebrities, not DJs, not ministers, but everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, especially the ministers though. But
For sure.
also, what happened to that 500 million? Free period, man.
But I make sure that everyone around you doesn't fuck with you. So that is blackballing. When I make sure that everything around Rashid doesn't pop. Because me and Rashid are in competition.
You know, in the music industry, hip hop especially, blackballing is 90% of the time caused by the artists themselves.
Oh, what?
Yes.
Why you say that?
I've experienced it like firsthand.
You've been blackballed.
No, I've blackballed motherfuckers.
You've blackballed niggas?
Yes.
Isn't that a bit of gatekeeping?
No,
you know
it's
when,
not.
when you have the power to blackball
let-
somebody.
Let me explain. You find a nigga who needs your help talking shit about you on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. And Rashid thinks he owns hip hop. Rashid thinks that. Fuck that Rashid nigga. You know?
That's funny.
That nigga has no idea what's going on in the industry. Radio people have WhatsApp group, you know? And then this nigga was gonna ask me on the WhatsApp group, what do you think of J6? And then I'm like, fuck that nigga. It's over for you. There's 20 DJs in that WhatsApp group. You blackballed yourself.
I don't know, Rashid.
I'm serious.
Are you not using your power?
No.
To the to like self.
No. I'm
You know,
saying.
make yourself feel
I'm
better.
saying. Most of the people will forget their history and think they've been shut out. But if you go back to your timeline and read what you said about other people, you know what I'm saying?
That's when the issue comes in.
That's when
You have a problem.
sometimes the reason I'm saying you blackballing yourself, sometimes it's gonna come to where you go to people and then they say, no, talk to OG. OG is responsible for that. You already said fuck OG, that OG nigga whack, that you know what I'm saying? That's blackballing yourself. That's what I'm saying.
So you saying rappers' attitudes, rappers' egos, you know, how they conduct their business and they go around their movements,
Yeah.
that's what causes them to be blackballed. Not the fact that
No, I'm
Rashid
saying
and
it's
OG
one.
have
I'm
the power.
not saying it's the only. I'm not saying it's the only
Way.
factor
Yeah.
that gets
you
them
blackballed. Sure.
blackballed.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's one of those where they think, why is this shit not happening? Without checking themselves. Have you checked what you've been posting about other people?
Oh,
And
snap.
because you don't know who's connected to who. You think because I'm on this radio station, I'm not close with the other guy who's on a different radio station. We have WhatsApp group, we talk.
I get you. I get you.
Yes.
But
Once-
also,
once I
why
said-
is it, Rashid, that there's that?
Yeah. Yo, first period for today. Man, I can't believe you want us to talk about this one. Freestyling. Free fucking flowing.
Yeah.
You know, I said,
the art of freestyling. Right here, right now.
Any-
1,
anytime
2,
a nigga
mic,
grab a
check.
mic.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that shit has been twisted a lot of times, and people will make excuses and say this and that.
give me some background around where the art of freestyling comes from your knowledge, especially locally. And we're gonna get into us moving into that place where Stogie and them always used to rap. I can't believe I forgot it. Le Club.
Le Club,
Le
yeah.
Club, yeah.
So, no, freestyle comes from way back, as back as when hip hop started. You know, it was like spitting rhymes on the spot, spontaneously from the top of the dome. You know what I'm saying? And then over time, has been like artists were tested if they could freestyle. They would be on interviews on radio stations or wherever, be asked to freestyle, and they would kick verses, and people would say, "Yo, dope freestyle." A lot of people don't freestyle. They would kick verses. If you have rehearsed it, if you have written it, it's not a freestyle. It's not a freestyle. Like people say, there's a written freestyle. What the fuck? It can't be written and be a freestyle. It's a written freestyle. No. You know what I'm saying? There were freestyle battles, and the battles that are commercial now,
Yeah.
like the ciphers,
Those are written.
those are written.
Written.
You know what I'm saying?
Can I start it from my love of hip hop?
Yes.
I think I started loving hip hop off the aspect of poetry being musical.
Yeah.
You know, I love poetry.
Yes.
And usually when the poets I used to fucks with and the ones I listen to today are people that speak off the dome. They will see something in the house or wherever and they can, you know, give me something poetic and nice about that.
Yes.
I think that's what freestyling is, right? And if you're a rapper, I think this is my opinion, you should and have to be able to freestyle. It might be an old school thought or whatever, but you should be able to bust the 16
I'd say-
at any point in time. When I bump into you, you need to be able to rap.
I'd say not a rapper necessarily,
Yeah.
but an MC.
Okay.
An MC has to be an all-rounder. You need to know, you need to be nice with the pen game. You know how to write. You need to know how to freestyle.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, okay.
that's an MC. Anyone can be a rapper as long as you can write rhymes. and recite.
Or
You're a
recite
rapper.
rhymes that are written for you.
Yes.
That makes you a rapper.
That makes you a rapper.
And
But
then
an MC, an MC, Rakim said, move the crowd. It's a microphone controller, masters of ceremony.
Yeah.
Like, that's an MC. It's not just a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to this freestyling shit, Supernatural, one of the best freestylers in the world.
Yeah.
He said there's two things you can identify whether it's a true freestyle or not.
Okay.
Presence and relevance.
Yeah. 100%. I'm with you.
Is if someone is gonna rap from the top of the dome and his freestyle is relevant and present, that's a freestyle.
Can't
If you-
beat that.
If you're gonna be on the mic and talk about these 15 right here with this,
on Grace.
you know what I'm saying?
Face.
If you're gonna talk about something that people can see and relate to right now, that's a freestyle. But you cannot come and freestyle about your cheeks and about your money and about your cars, something that is not here. Those are your rhymes that you prepared for whatever situation. You know what I'm saying? So freestyle needs to be from the top of the dome, and it needs to be present and relevant
Yeah.
to the current situation.
Yes.
How do you feel about DJs, nah? The role of the DJ in terms of mixtaping and making music? Do DJs need to make music?
Yes, they do. They
Like what?
definitely
Like
do.
compilations or like put niggas in studio? Do they like a DJ Slick type thing in Jayam volume 1, 2, 3, 4, however many there is?
A DJ Switch has been doing that very well.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you're a new artist, you drop a dope song and nobody gives a fuck because they don't know you. Half the time people follow the artist. They don't follow the music.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's important for you to have that.
Yeah, it's important. If Jay Little drop a song the same day as AKA, and Jay Little has a doper song than AKA. This is an example. All the DJs are gonna run for AKA.
Because they know the name.
Yeah, because they're going for the brand. They're going for the name, not the music. You know what I'm saying? I once said this before. Like, fans love the art. Groupies love the artist.
Got you. Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how it is in general in life.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I got you. So yes, I
So-
think it goes a long way for you to have your name next to DJ Switch.
Yeah, shout
Or
out
DJ
DJ
Zandy.
Switch. The first time when Nasty C blew up, it was on DJ Switch's song. That's how the way it go. You know, that's the first time people were like, who's this kid rhyming along to me? It was not even Stogie T then. You know, that Switch, people paid us attention because it was a DJ Switch song. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop DJ must play that role and find more creative ways like the balcony and other stuff that the Yenos cats are doing. You know what I'm saying? We can do more.
We should be doing more.
We should be doing
There
more.
should be more DJ mixtapes out, you know. Like, I think if you're a hip hop DJ and you're playing in the clubs, you should be in studio too. Don't just be clubbing it and playing, you know, like, look at someone like a Miss Prue. I think she's maneuvered quite nicely. And
Yeah.
for instance, like, she's a case where she wasn't always a hip hop DJ. She'd play house music.
Yeah.
And then she flipped over to the hip hop side.
Yeah.
I do know that she gets some gigs where she plays in the club. I don't know what she plays in the club.
She plays hip hop.
Hip hop, no?
Yeah.
But now she's making music with the Black Diamond Boys, but you don't really hear about her in the club that much.
Yeah.
And I feel like
first
she's
female
breaking
DJ,
music.
first hip hop female DJ to win a summer. You know what I'm saying?
And then we got all these other guys that haven't won jack.
I like since Ameni, I like what Miss Prue is doing. But I think they need to give her freedom to work with artists outside Ambitious.
That's not going to happen. Nah, you know that's not going to happen.
That's why I'm saying they need to give her that freedom. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's an in-house thing.
Will she still be that dope? Because like you're saying, if it's in-house, we don't really know how much work she's actually putting into this music. She could just be putting her name on it and selling as the brand, and that helps sell the music.
Yeah.
But for her to go work with somebody else, I think they don't want her to do that because maybe they're not sure if that's going to work. Like she works with the guys at Ambitious really well. Yeah. And I don't know if she can work with anyone outside of Ambitious. I don't know. Has she done that before? Not that we know of.
Not that we know of.
But at the end of the day, she is one of the DJs who are breaking new music. They're creating a demand for the sound that Black Diamond and them are doing. And that's what I think the role of the DJ should be. And you'll pop like that. As a DJ, if you create the demand for the SA hip-hop that Rashid is talking about being played in the club, it will play in the club.
Yeah.
But the more we hear the Yanos, the more that's going to play.
Miss Prue is doing well with radio hits. You know what I'm saying? And DJ Switch is doing well with putting youngins on.
Word.
You know, we need DJs to be active in every department, like the club, the mainstream, the underground. Underground niggas, I'm not happy with them. Underground DJs, I'm not happy at all.
I hear you. Quickly, I just want to ask first. Or whatever.
So, do you think it's fair for DJs to be licensed?
Yes, I 100% think it's fair for DJs to be licensed. The reason I say that is because, like you're saying, DJing is an art form.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a skill that you can either have the talent for or you can acquire the skill to actually just be able to DJ.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And if you're getting paid for that skill, you know what I mean? Cool. But if you're getting paid for that skill because you're playing Rashid's music, Rashid needs a cut of that. And that's where I think the fairness comes in. I might not have my own music, but I'm making money off the fact that I'm playing other people's music.
Yeah.
The music that I'm playing, those guys should be getting at least something from, not me personally. Like I don't think it's the DJ should be paying Rashid physic, but like there should be some sort of structure and system.
No, the DJs for their license, they supposed to pay Samro.
An entity, pay somebody.
1,000. It's not like you pay for every song you play.
No.
You pay
blanket fee.
Yeah, blanket fee, like 1,000 rand a year to Samro, and then every time you play, you submit your playlist to Samro, so they can divide the money, distribute the money to the artist accordingly.
Yeah, so your cue sheet basically.
Yeah, your cue
sheet will state what song you played.
So I've seen
the numbers of the songs you play.
And Samro is complaining that there's a very low number of DJs that have registered, that have licenses.
Really?
I don't know why they're protesting that, because it seems fair.
I think it's very fair, dog. It's a profession, bro. If you want to be a DJ, then let's get your licenses and shit in order. You know what I mean? This thing of every day waking up, there's a new DJ. I'm not seeing but dog.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I understand the growth in the individuals, but like the artists work very hard to make this music, and they should be getting paid in every single way that's possible. So if the music is playing in the club should be paying. If the music is playing in restaurants where people are eating and dining, you should be getting paid.
And most of the DJs, they are artists themselves, because they release music, they release songs. It means these DJs are supposed to be Samro members, Capasso members, Sampra members.
Yeah.
They expect to get paid
for playing other homies' music.
No, for their own music. When their own music is played, they need to be
paid. And they expect
as
that
much as other artists. If you're a DJ and the other DJ is playing your music, you're gonna get paid.
Should be.
So why don't you pay a license fee?
Yeah. The class is now in session.
This one is interesting, man. Today's topic for me is a learning curve. We're going to speak about ageism in hip-hop, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to understand what that even means. Like, ageism in hip hop. I don't really get it.
Actually, it's a worldwide problem. You know, when it comes to hip hop, people feel like at certain age you need to quit rapping. You know, you have rock and roll niggas in their 70s still releasing, still performing, still touring. You know, in South Africa you have the Oskidos and Mahutas and all the other old dudes
moving.
Still releasing, still they don't have that problem. But only in hip hop you will hear, nigga, too old. Let the kids in. Let the kids shine. Like what part of the game is that?
But that happens everywhere. I feel like
No, not everywhere. Only in hip hop.
You think so?
I think so.
I think okay. Let's look at it this way, right?
Yeah.
And it's close to home for you.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of young cats who have good ideas, creative dudes who have smart plans for what our national television broadcaster could be doing.
Yeah.
But they're always complaining about that the old cats don't want to move out of the position so these young cats can move in because they're comfortable and the money's good. You know what I mean? So there is ageism even in that industry where at some point, like, the old guys got to move out, dog.
Nah, I don't think so. If Rick Ross or Big Zulu blew up in their 30s, when must they retire?
I think when the music dies down, it's like a soccer player. Sometimes you
Okay, it's not. They still relevant and big.
But there'll come a time when we're just like, yo, now Big Zulu's like,
No,
in his
there will
50s,
come a
cuz?
time when.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if Big Zulu hits from a 45 to 50 and he's still dropping the same kind of music he's dropping now, it's over.
So what are you saying about a young cat that was in the game before Big Zulu? Is it the music or is it the age? Should
the music. I get you.
Should we allow a young cat to drop 18 albums and restrict a Big Zulu to 5 albums?
No. You're right. It's not about the age. It's about the music. But the age
But
and the
why
music
do
go
we
hand
have
in hand.
ageism in hip hop?
That's what I'm saying. The age and the music go hand in hand. So
Not
at
in the
some
music,
point,
in
my
hip
man,
hop. In hip
in hip hop, right? In hip hop, there's hip hop.
Why is it specifically with hip hop?
Hip hop, I would say, is a reflection of society, right? So there'll come a time when you lose touch with that. So when you're young, there's things that you speak about that only relate to young people. But the older you get, hip hop is a young man's sport, and that's just facts. But the older you get, the less you can relate to these young guys coming into this culture that everybody loves from a young age, that you pick up from a young age. And you don't pick it up because of the old heads, you pick it up because of the guys who are relevant at that time.
I think hip hop has different layers. You know. That's why the content Jay-Z is on right now, it's not the same content he was on 20 years ago.
Facts. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why should we say Jay-Z must quit
No.
when he's not addressing the kids anymore?
Yeah.
He's addressing people who grew up in hip hop.
Yeah.
People who are now old. People who wanna hear about family. People who wanna hear about business.
Word.
People who don't wanna hear about lean and weed smoking anymore.
Word.
That's what I'm saying. Hip hop has different layers. We shouldn't discard one and say no. We don't want to hear that. Allow the kids to talk their dumb shit.
Okay. I read an article during the week. It was very interesting for me. And in simple terms, this article was speaking about how old school music is more valuable than new school music. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. How old music is more valuable money-wise than new school music. And this stems from the fact that, I don't know if you've been seeing the whole Joe Rogan situation where Joe Rogan, there was Joe Rogan and Spotify.
Yeah.
There's a big rock, I don't know if it's rock or country music. I forgot his name though. I need to check those facts. But there's a country artist who decided he's going to take his music off Spotify because Spotify seems to be more focused on podcasts than they are on. I mean, if Joe Rogan's got a 300 million deal, then musicians are not making money off Spotify. So he'd rather take, I think it's Neil Diamond, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
One of those homies said they're going to take their music off. So people were just talking about how we go onto Spotify and we're not on Spotify to really find new music. We're on Spotify to listen to the old shit that we really like. So that makes me ask the question if old school music is more valuable than new, like, do we give a shit about new music when I can just go on Spotify and listen to catalogs of anything I really want to listen to, rather than to find who's new in Braamfontein? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So where's the value in old school versus new school, I think? That's what I wanted to find out from you.
It depends. It depends. Music is not the same. You know, if it's bubblegum music, obviously it's gonna fade away. You know, it doesn't gonna make it a classic or timeless because it's old. You know, there was back in the day there was Macarena, Macarena.
Yeah, big
Yeah,
track,
yeah.
big track.
You cannot say because now that the song is 20-something years old, it's more valuable
than Jerusalem.
than Jerusalem. No, some music is bubblegum and it fades away, and when it fades away forever.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice faded away. You know, I don't really think that old music is more valuable than new music.
Really?
Although there are like timeless classics.
Yeah.
Like you speaking of Bob Marley, people who made music before we were even born.
Yeah.
But we're listening to them. We're listening to Michael Jackson. We're
Still listening to it.
Tupac.
Word.
You know, there is timeless music, but not all old music is classical or timeless.
What do we have to do to export SA hip hop?
Yeah. It's a tough question. It's a very good question too. A lot of work needs to go in. Like, I think we need to go back, Doug. We need to start again and rewrite the script. You know, let's not forget where we come from.
Yeah.
The history is so strong in that I think in the history of South African hip hop
Yeah.
is where we find how to export South African hip hop.
Yeah.
Because what we had, I think, back in the day, the things that you guys are putting up at the museum, you know, with POC and those kinds of, the purpose we had in our music is not the same purpose we have now, I feel.
Yeah.
So, in a sense, we need to start again. Let's go back and review what we do. Let's find our sound as a hip hop fraternity. And I think from there we can start maneuvering into trying to make hip hop big here so that the rest of the world can start picking it up. Because I don't think we need to export. You know what I mean?
The music should export itself.
We don't have to like send our music anywhere. They should be coming here for this shit.
Yeah. Here's my question though. What will your reaction be if you were to hear Nigerian Amapiano?
I'd be a bit disappointed. I'd be touched,
Okay,
actually.
pause. Do you think that's the same feeling when Americans get to hear hip hop from other places?
Yeah, word. I do think so. Especially the hip hop that sounds like their hip hop. You know what I mean? Like,
So in other words, you're saying we can't export what they already have on that side.
That's exactly
and
what it
they
is.
do it better.
That's exactly what it is. We can debate who does it better, but it's something that they do.
Do you think let me take you back to Amapiano. Do you think any foreigner can do Amapiano better than South Africans?
Nah, never that. We can do this all day. We can do this all day. So
isn't,
we'll never get better.
isn't that how Americans
can do it differently.
Isn't that how Americans feel about hip hop?
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. That's why they say that. You know, I did an interview with Nasty, and he was saying when he got to the States, he realized that every corner in New York there's a rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not sitting there waiting to hear what South African hip hop's got to bring. You know what I mean? When they do hear someone sounding like them that's not from there, it's straight trash from the jump.
Yeah. So here's my take on this thing. It's pointless to call it South African hip hop if it sounds like Atlanta. There's no trace of South Africa.
of South Africa in it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we've had a blueprint before that we always ignore if we want to export our shit. Look at all the South African artists that won the Grammys, the BETs, and the Billboards and whatever.
That's traditional sounding music.
Yes, it's your
Black
Lady Smith, Black
Mambazo.
Mambazo, Soweto Gospel Choir, Sjava, Shoma Josie. None of those people sound American or whatever. So the hint is there, but we're ignoring it. So for us to export SA hip hop, South African hip hop, we must make it South African hip hop. Rashid K, OG Sam K, we out.
Peace.
I'm from the old school, you know me, all about the culture, like Rashid and OG. Like, subscribe, and tell your whole street. Load this next episode with love for the whole team, yeah. Let's get serious for the free period. And drop a link in the comments, cause we hearing it. Shout out to OG, shout out to Rash K, set a new standard, other bars in the ashtray.